Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to dive into some of the big moves and announcements surrounding Ondo Finance. We do talk Ondo a lot on the channel, and right now, as we get into the native token Ondo, we're going to look into some of the chart movements as well as just kind of put a bow on what they have going on in terms of the future of DeFi and RWA, which is one of the niches within crypto, within real world asset tokenization. That's kind of what we're going to break down in this video. But we need to talk Ondo. There's been a lot of things happening right now. There's been some RWA expansion going on, as well as JPMorgan in the news once again. So appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this video and taking some time out of your day. Let's get into the strides that Ondo is making within DeFi. Okay, first, the number one kind of thing that we're going to get into before we get going, make sure you all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you're watching on X, be sure to follow me on that platform. We do talk crypto each and every single day. But the big move right now, as I will pull up the screen for you guys, and we are going to get into kind of what we're seeing on the chart, as well as what I'm going to show you with the overall top 100. We'll kind of segue into what those cryptos are doing, as it is a red day as what we're looking at, okay? And as it relates to Ondo, you can see it trickling down where we are still trading around 90 cents. So it's still a red day. And as you look at it on the overall, okay, down roughly, if you want to call it a percentage, 6.3, 6.4% as I'm currently recording. Now, this all can change on a drop of a dime. It is the weekend. Usually we do get some volatility, in my personal opinion, more so Saturday, Sunday, TradFi all at home, kind of playing with their crypto. And it's historically what we've seen, right? You sometimes get some big pumps, and then obviously you do see some Monday correction as we are currently kind of used to. But right now, I think we're in this hold and see approach. What goes on with the tariffs? What goes on with the Trump administration? And now we have some even bigger news from a more macro standpoint with what's going on with the more, I guess you would say, overseas developments within kind of the Middle East, within the United States and Saudi Arabia. That's been coming down as of late. And yeah, so that's kind of the macro just to present to you guys. There's a big back and forth going on right now with Jerome Powell. We have the upcoming Fed minutes this week. I believe that's going to have a determinant of what we talk about moving forward. And unfortunately, Ondo is going to be one of those cryptos that is very sensitive to governmental policy, economic policy, in my personal opinion. Okay. But let's get further into what we came here to talk about as we look at the chart right now. Okay. When we talk about the number one milestone right now, recently broke another record, $1 billion in TVL total value locked. That is a new all-time high for Ondo. This is something where you look at kind of the DeFi side of it. They're making significant strides as they look to bridge TradFi and blockchain all together to further drive the concept of RWA. All right. And now recently another headline, as I will kind of segue into this graphic as we summarize it. Okay. JPMorgan Chase. This is something where they have completed its first tokenized U.S. Treasury transaction on a public blockchain. That was coming back from a couple days ago. This is not new news. It's not breaking news. You guys probably heard of this headline, but it is something worth noting because this is going to kind of tie it all together as we get into kind of where Ondo is headed. Now, this is where a lot of people kind of went back at me on this one, saying it was a testnet transaction. Also, Chainlink, Ondo, we all know kind of where they stand within RWA. Those are two of my best picks, personally. I'll never tell you guys to buy or sell a crypto. This is not financial advice, but if you want to talk RWA, for me, it's going to be Ondo and Chainlink, full disclosure. And there is a world where both of these cryptos can win. Please keep that in mind. But as it relates to this piece and this article that we're discussing and kind of giving you my viewpoints, it's going to be more centric on Ondo, okay? Now, this collaboration also will kind of just look to bolster, in my opinion, one of the smartest men in the world. Okay, this is where we look into Jamie Dimon and Chase Bank. We talk about that at face value. Whether you like them, dislike them, disdain, whatever adjective you want to put towards it, that's personal. Okay, but when we trade, we talk about trading capital. We talk about making moves financially. You got to kind of put those at bay, leave the emotion out of it, because I do have some personal thoughts towards Jamie Dimon. But if it's something where he's doing something in a form or fashion to help drive my Ondo Finance better, and benefit him in the back end, then yeah, that's called business. So we'll kind of suck it up and make the best of it as we continue to monitor all of those situations. But nonetheless, bankers are going to bank. They're greedy. This is kind of my double-edged sword, if you will, when we do incorporate traditional finance into decentralized finance. Okay, that's always been kind of my microcosm of it all. You need the money, but is the money going to do more bad than good? That's where time will tell. But that's kind of how I feel about it. All right. And then also, I do want to get into some TA real quick. That's where we're going to head over to CoinMarketCap. I want to talk a little bit about some of the TA standing behind Ondo. The first thing that I do want to bring up is that if we look back into the all-time highs that we did reach in December of 2024, you can see right here on your screen as I have it pulled up, as we look at the all chart, this is where you look into a consolidation phase that we have since fallen from. Okay. And then since then, guys, this is where, if you take out that all-time high, that's where you got to look at the major support there around 78 cents, a little bit below that 80 cents threshold. And that has been, in my opinion, a very strong floor for Ondo as we zoom out. And if you want to look at kind of what I mean by that, it's hard to see here. I might have to switch over to kind of what we're looking at within trading view. Let's kind of do that, so it might be a little bit easier for you guys as we look at Ondo. And I will pull this up very, very quickly, and you can see as trading view comes up that 80 cents territory. All right, and that's going to be where you kind of look at this floor that I have for you guys right here on your screen. All right, and that's kind of where we're at. I know this isn't the best way of doing it from a graphic perspective. Personally, there's something going on with TradingView in terms of the all chart for Ondo, so I'm using CoinMarketCap, something a little bit of a deviation for me. But this is something where, as you look up for the upside, as we approach the $1 threshold, you can see kind of where we have had some resistance in the past and failing to kind of hold this line. And I think that happened back here as we look at the month of February in 2025. That's where I think Ondo had a choice, and unfortunately, that's when, in my opinion, the macro really took over the overall state of crypto. Okay, a couple other things that we have to talk about. All right, I think that we do have a very solid floor at 70, at that 75 to 78 cents level. If you want to look back at some support levels, we can also couple that with the RSI. That's something where you look into the overbought or oversold territory, and as more of a neutral reading in that regard. This is kind of where we're waiting. This is the waiting on the sidelines, where we're waiting for that next catalyst, hanging in the balance before Ondo's ready to be bearish or bullish. That's how I view it. Okay, and I've told you guys that I've stabled up. I'm on the sidelines in a lot of different assets, and Ondo is one of those ones where you just kind of have your hand on the trigger, waiting for me personally. Okay, like I said earlier, I'll never tell you to buy or sell a crypto, but if you're watching this video, you obviously do have some interest in Ondo. So I think in some form or fashion, I'm preaching to the choir and just echoing my own personal standpoint and how I want to play this market for my own personal interests. Okay, and then the last one that we always do talk about is when we do talk about the moving average and the convergence divergence, otherwise known as the MACD. Okay, so this indicator right now, if we want to look at it, we do have a bear signal coming from that read. All right, and that's something where if something shifts with the overall macro, it's not going to take much. That is one of the more fickle readers, indicators, in my personal opinion. If we do get some tailwinds in one or headwinds in one direction or another, that can falter very, very quickly if we do go into some sort of frenzy, if you will, but whether that be buying or selling pressure. I think that can really tip the hand one way or another. But this is also something where we look into the consolidation phase. Okay, Ondo may just be continuing this consolidation, this accumulation zone. That's kind of where you look into the potential. And for what it's worth, guys, and I always talk about this when I do talk Ondo Finance, it's a young crypto. It is just relatively naive in comparison to the Bitcoins, the Ethereums of the world. And from a financial standpoint, for a utility purpose, what they are looking to do, it is something that, quite frankly, if they were around when other cryptos originated, I don't think they'd be in this place right now, because I think they would have been phased out and a little bit ahead of their time. Taking what they have had in developments within technology, I think the apple is ripe for picking, if you will. And that's kind of how I feel about it. All right. So when we talk RWA, for me personally, my interests stay behind Ondo and Chainlink. But looking ahead, the forecast, right? Everybody wants to know. Everybody wants to watch these YouTube videos because you want to know price predictions. There's a little bit more to that, and you really have to have an exit strategy. But you want to know the price predictions. Well, there are a lot of people that think that by the end of 2025, you could see Ondo Finance upwards of $2. Once again, it's going to be something very interesting because in a world where you have very prominent voices, not myself included, but very prominent voices within government, within politics, within media, the celebrities that we have, as well as some very, very influential economic voices calling for 250,000 Bitcoin by the end of the year. That really does raise your eyebrows to what Ondo could be at, and just kind of applying some proportional logic. And I know it's just not apples to apples, but if we do kind of look at it from that standpoint, if you do get a 250K Bitcoin and we do get an altcoin season once Bitcoin would sell off a little bit, you could potentially see, in my personal opinion, Ondo Finance anywhere from the $2.20 to $2.60 range by the end of by the end of 2025. It's purely speculative. It is not the gospel. I don't have a crystal ball. I'm actually probably not buying Ondo based on that premise, right? It's more of a longer term play for me. But I wanted to kind of echo some of those thoughts and some of my sentiment because I do like talking about it. It is open for the discussion, and that's why I will open up the comments box down below. So if you do want to leave something down there, talk to me down there. We'll talk, get a little discussion going, but I wanted to give you guys an update on what's happening with Ondo because it's been some big news as we get into kind of not only just surpassing that TVL, that $1 billion TVL milestone, but also we do have some really good innovation coming along within the works within JPMorgan. As well as what we've seen within PayPal, which we haven't really even talked about, and that's with the PYUSD partnership, as PayPal is looking to focus on tokenization. So I will post something on that on my X page. If you guys don't follow me on X, make sure you do so. The handle is down below in the description at TCryptoMark. We do post a lot of Ondo content on there as well. And if you do like me for my other crypto talk, appreciate you all for tuning in. But this is a big opportunity for some upside with a lot of these integrations, collaborations, and as the world continues to evolve around the digital asset framework and that landscape continues to blossom, I think that Ondo is one of my top choices personally as we await kind of this whatever season you want to call it, but whatever's coming in the wings for crypto holders. So appreciate you guys tuning in. If you haven't done so, make sure you all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and join us on YouTube and on X. Appreciate you guys. Please remember also, if you do want to start trading, I do have a sponsor within BTCC. Start trading on that platform. Spot and leverage trading available to most clients geographically. Make sure it's right for you and where you're located. Like I said, do your due diligence, understand some of their terms and conditions, and always understand the KYC policy, which I believe is a little bit different than most you've seen. So if you are looking for something in that regard, make sure you check it out. It could be fruitful, as well as they do run volume competitions and some promotional giveaways for signing up with BTCC using the link down below. All right, so I'll leave you with that. Appreciate you all. See you guys in the next video. Cheers.